All right, guys, today we are going to bring in a new little dynamic or a discussion about why we choose products that we do in the Pokemon TCG when it comes to Pokemon investing in 2022. Now, these are some things that are a lot of times done under the radar or behind the desk. These aren't things that we normally would bring to light, and it's not really something that's super interesting, but it's definitely something that's helpful for you guys if you're looking at what you should be investing in and how your investments may flow. So guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button, guys. We can get 55 likes on this video. It would be greatly appreciated, and it helps us out a ton. And with that being said, we also have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming. That's right, guys. We are so close that we're going to start to get the entries and get you guys in for that actual giveaway. So what we're going to be doing is doing a booster box break live here where we can have discussions, talk about things, just have a good time. We'll do a drawing for everybody live on the screen, and we will be actually opening up 36 packs of Brilliant Stars. I figured it'd be a nice, fun set to be opening. It's the modern set, it's the current one, and it's a lot of fun on the pull rates. And we will be doing 18 winners. So everybody that's drawn on this will be getting 2 packs of Brilliant Stars sent to you guys from us as an appreciation for you guys subscribing to our channel and joining the community. So as of the time of this video, if you go to the community tab, there is a subscriber only post there. So you need to be a subscriber in order to see it. So be sure you hit subscribe or it will not be visible to you. You can go ahead and put your first entry in for the drawing that comes up here as soon as we get to 1,000. We are also putting in a code word entry also, so you can get an extra entry into that drawing ahead of time. We'll be putting a code word into the videos prior to the actual 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure that you get that stuff filled out. Go ahead and have some fun. Make sure you keep up with our videos so you can get some extra entries between now and 1,000. Right now we are standing at 923. So it's not that far away, guys. It could be a couple videos. It could be next week. It could be moving pretty fast the way it's going. So be sure to get on top of that and get in on that. It'd be greatly appreciated to have you guys there and have some fun. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go right into what I want to discuss. And today I want to talk about inflation. So what happens is a lot of times when you talk about tins, you talk about boxes, you talk about, like V boxes, and all these small things that some investing channels really like to push, like V boxes. Buy this Calyrex box or buy this box. And if you've noticed myself, I choose very few of them. And the ones I choose are usually because they have nostalgic, or they have a Charizard, or they have some big Pokemon character that'll really drive that V box. To me, if it doesn't have a major character, it's going to be really difficult to see growth. And the reason I like to see growth is because in the back of my mind, on average, your product or what you spent on that dollar or on that item will increase by 1.8%. That's been the last 5-year average of inflation. So if you would have purchased a product, let's say in 2019 for $34.99, it would already have appreciated up, and you've actually been equivalent to you paying $38.83 in today's market. This is part of the reasons why I don't suggest going in the bonds or savings accounts like some people say you do. The bond rates, you just end up losing money. If you put money into a bank, you end up technically losing money by doing that. That's why moving it into other investments or purchasing it, for us putting it into the farm or putting it into home equity, is sometimes a lot better situation than actually putting it away in a bank account. And that's why on this channel I've said before, I don't like money sitting in bank accounts because it just actually loses you money. So that's just something to keep in consideration. So when you're looking at these boxes, and you can go ahead and check out some of these in the past, some do well. And of course, typically they're the boxes you would think they were. They're usually some fan favorites like Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. Of course, there's like the Pikachu boxes, Mewtwo boxes. Those tend to do extremely well. But here, I'm going to pull open one, and I've actually got one on the shelf right behind me, is these tag team boxes. So I'm going to put the information right next to me. Hold on, let me put the right screen up. Right next to me, right over here. So I'm just going to break this down. I'll put the item up first. So we've got the tag team tin right here. The MSRP when this was released was $34.99. So if you would have bought this in 2019 when it was released, you would have spent $34.99 at this at most stores. Probably all of them at the time. You might have been able to get them at a deal. But let's just keep it simple and say you bought this right off the shelf, put it away, never looked at it again for the last 3 years. Okay, over the last 3 years, we have had 11% of inflation on our dollar. So what that means is that if you were to go ahead and purchase that today, it's the equivalent of paying $38.83. So right away, you have already gone backwards on value. If this box tin wouldn't have changed in value from 35, you're already upside down. So if you go for inflation rate, you're at 38.83. Now you got to figure you're going to have 10%, 10.5% on selling this item, because every place that you sell at in the normal markets have a service fee, whether it's 8% for one, all the way up to 13% for eBay. There's a lot of prices that go in there. Sometimes there's some ways to skirt this, of course, but I'm just going to go a normal seller is going to get about 10.5% on service fees, depending on where they go. All right, so now you're at $42.90 on this product. Now you got to ship it. You got the cost of boxes, you got the cost of labeling, you've got the cost of all this stuff included. You got about $5 to send this out based on the weight and the box size. I already figured this part out for you. So you're at $37.90. So right now, before you even leave it, you've got $47.90. Now, how much do you think that this box is going for right now with shipping? $49.88. That's right. In 3 years, you have gained $1.98 with inflation figured into it. So you made 66 cents per year on this item. Now, if you've had 1,000 of these or 10,000 of these tins, that's all right. You can make the margins work by quantity. But myself, I don't work on quantity. I work on quality, because I can't afford to be buying 10,000 tins in order to make 66 cents a piece to make a living off of it. It's just not going to be something that's going to be manageable. Now, could things change? Of course, as rarity starts to happen, as these products start to get used up or be open more, and they may actually go up more in value. But the problem is that that's from Sun and Moon era. Now remember, anything you purchased in the Sword and Shield era is already been mass produced comparatively to the Sun and Moon era. We have a lot more people in it. We have a lot more people, or a lot more production for the people that are in it. So remember that, and a lot more people are keeping this stuff back. Now, my next one that I like to talk about is the UPC. The UPC is another nice little interesting thing. And of course, I'm going to put the numbers next to me just like before. Right now, this product, if you were to buy it, you can, if you find it in stores, good luck. I had never even saw it in the stores. But I'm going to go by the fact that you're going to have to buy this on the secondary market. And I see a lot of investment channels telling you, go buy this now. You'd be silly not to. And I'm going to tell you a reason why I'm hesitant to purchasing this box right this minute. There is a reason behind me waiting, and this is it. Right now, this box is roughly $271.38. That's the market value of this box currently, according to PokeData and TCG Player. Now, if you figure that you're going to hold on to this box, and you're looking at it as just a normal investor, and I'm going to take the national average of 1.8%. So over the next few years, you're going to have this box inflate just automatically to $314.11 in 5 years. Take on top of that service and fees, $329.81, plus it's $7 to ship this one based on weight and size. So you're at $336.81 right now if you were to go and purchase that and wait 5 years to sell it. To me, that means that you're going to have to definitely get some gains on this thing right away in order to stay ahead of that inflation. But there's another thing we need to discuss, and it's the elephant in the room. Inflation is now at 8%. That's a heck of a big change when you're looking at 1.8% to 8% change. So we could calculate that out, and actually in the next 5 years, if inflation continues just for 1 year at that rate, you're going to bump that all the way up to $354 right off the bat. So that's a really big concern that I have with this box, and why I'm really hesitant is I don't know if this box is going to accelerate faster than what the inflation rate is currently on this box because of its cost. People are really slow to buy this. People are really slow to do it. Granted, I think it's going to explode to come closer to 4 years. But here's where I say this. Why stick your money into it and let inflation eat away your investment if you don't think that this thing is going to get the $336 to break even in the next 4 years? Why sit on it? Why sit there and put your money into it and waste it? that time and let the inflation eat away your investment, when you could take that money and put it into something that's actually accelerating faster, like an ETB. Now, an ETB is one of them items that I always enjoy. Booster boxes, ETBs, to me, they're really solid investments. They always do extremely well over time. History has shown that they're a really reliable item. And this is why I like ETBs a lot when it comes down to it with the numbers. And like I said, we usually don't put the numbers out there because it gets really confusing and a lot of times it gets really boring. I'm trying to do this in a fun, exciting way. So I'm going to put the numbers up. If you would have bought a Unified Minds ETB and put it away right in the closet right away, you bought it for $39.99. That was still the MSRP back at that point. You take that times the 11% inflation that we have had since the release date of this, you're looking at a total of $44.38 is what you have tied up or into that box equivalently today. Now, you're going to take that times your service fees and all that. You're going to have $10.05, 10.5%. Again, I'm using that just general number of the average of all of them. But I did that on the 203 number. Reason being is that that's actually what it is selling at currently. So I'm taking the correct service fees off of that. So if you subtract that away from that, you're going to get $181.68 minus another $5. You're looking at a total of $176.08 is what the equivalent, what the sales price would be after removing inflation, fees, and shipping. Now, what are we looking at? Take that minus the $40, the $39.99 that we originally spent on that 3 years ago in 2019. You're looking at $136.69 return in 3 years. That means you were putting away $45.56 in a year. That is a fantastic turnaround. You are doing 106% return on that item year over year from what you purchased it at. These are the things that I really like to point out, and that's why I sit there and say ETBs are great. This is what historically we see with them. And you can do this with, Hidden Fates is actually a little bit behind, but you think of how many reprints that's had. But every one of the ETBs right now in Sun and Moon and in XY Evolution or XY era are all running similar numbers to this. That's why ETBs are great. It's the same with booster boxes. Now, Sword and Shield is going to be a little bit different. We may not see 106. Be honest with you, if I'm getting 20% per year, that's a fantastic gain. You're still beating every market out there with these items. And that's why I always suggest sticking with ETBs and booster boxes versus tins, V boxes, all them little things, because they just don't perform as well compared to inflation removed and eroding your investments, compared to the service fees that are involved with it, and then shipping these items around that all continually chews away at that bottom line. So guys, that is one of the reasons that I wanted to do this video, was to sit there and have you see number for number what we are looking at when it comes down to certain items versus other ones. And the tag team and also the Unified Minds were all released in the same 4-month window right there. So age-wise, there's not a huge difference between the two of them. And actually, I picked the Unified Minds because it was the worst performing out of the Sun and Moon era. The tag team's box was actually running about $300 versus $208. So I wanted to do the numbers based on the lower performing box of the two. So once again, these are just realistic numbers of what we're looking at from the historical aspect, and why we choose V-boxes or choose not to buy V-boxes, tins, and those kind of items is because we see these low returns with inflation rates, especially as inflation goes way up. It's going to kick into the actual ETBs also, but it'll take a lot more of an inflation rate and a longer running inflation rate to start eating away that $136.69, plus not getting gain on this product. So keep that in mind, guys. It's just some information I wanted to bring to you. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it gives you a little bit better look. There are some great calculators out there, and I'll put one of them down below. If you want to see how your Pokemon product has performed since you bought it, if you did in Sun and Moon era, here's a great opportunity to use this calculator. You can actually sit there and see your performance to date and how much money you're actually have eroded away from your investment without even thinking about it. So hopefully it's informative. Hopefully it was good for you. If it was, hit that subscribe. hit that notify, and always, guys, hit that like button before you leave. Once again, 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming soon, so be sure you hit that subscribe and go into the community tab, fill out the form, and get in your entries. And today's word is going to just be plain and simple Pokemon. That's right, the code word today is Pokemon. Go put it in, make sure that you get your extra entry into the giveaway, and we will hope to see you live soon for that giveaway. So other than that, if you do like this content, as always, guys, check out these 2 videos over here. I will put them up for your information afterwards, and we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.